This time we will have a moment of silence in honor of Brian Curry. Brian is the brother of Fury player Isaac Curry and lost his battle to a brain tumor last night. Please join in this moment of silence. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please rise and remove your caps for tonight's national anthem. Singing the national anthem tonight is Raquel Lop.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and of the free and the home of the brave.
Miami FC Broadcast Network. I'm Carter Schneider, welcoming you to the 2019 NISA Showcase, a new season for your Miami FC. When your Miami FC was last in action, they were claiming an 8th trophy and a second successive NPSL National Championship with a 3-1 victory on Long Island against the New York Cosmos. Now the Miami FC joins a new league, NISA, a new professional league, and takes on the Philadelphia Fury in our inaugural NISA match tonight. To bring you through the action, the voice of Miami FC, Lee Iffens.
Midfielder number 7.
Already played one game in this competition, an exhibition against Detroit City on last month. They lost that one 1-0.
as we look at there we go. We look at Miami FC joining this association. A full nationwide slate of games. It's going to be really interesting to see how this club is able to scale up and how they're able to take the obvious talent that we've been able to see on the field, basically since 2017, how they'll be able to take that talent and scale it up to this new level of competition.
Yeah, it is a new level. Gianluca Cuomo. Nice little bit of build-up play. Comes to number 12. That's Kyle Newell. Sends it into the area. Oh, a little bit of pinball, and Sam has to send it clear again. And here is Ariel Martinez. Martinez coming forward. He's got Miguel Gonzalez on his right, but he chooses to go to the left. And that is the captain, Dylan Mahrez. Stands up, tries to float the ball into the area, and a good intervention again there by Cuomo for Philadelphia Fury.
You could definitely see early on here Philly is trying to set the tone, set an aggressive tone against Miami FC, something that they don't have a lot of experience against these last couple of years, trying to adapt to teams that really have a kind of bunkering defensive mentality.
Yeah, and a nice little, nice few of the touches here for Philadelphia Fury. That's a nice looking ball over the top, looking for Cameron Vickers down the left-hand side, and again, Lloyd Sam is there, being the busiest Miami FC player so far. Sends it long, looking for Miguel Gonzalez. And it's still Philadelphia Fury on the ball, looking to stamp their authority on the game straight away here. And number 6, Ian McGrath, loses out. You can't miss that man in the middle of the field. Fury again. Whipped in low and long. It might come.
There's an offside flag on the far side.
Off, but yeah, well spotted, Matt. It's offside.
Miami FC seeing the challenge there and addressing it, and the offside takes a little bit of the pressure off, and hopefully they're going to try to build from the back here and get that ball in the Philadelphia side of the field.
Touch of Brenton Griffiths goes long, looking for Miguel Gonzalez. He's got 2 players in close attention, and smart work there by the number 7 for the Fury, Vickers. Cuomo sends it long, sweeping over to the right hand side. Good control there by the number 9 Thomas Shecky. And it will be a corner kick for Philadelphia Fury. Well, the first couple of minutes, Matt, Philadelphia have come out here looking like they want to make a little name for themselves, yeah?
Seem composed. That was a beautiful pass to the far side of the field. That was pretty well.
The orange and blue. Roseboom, Lance Roseboom, the sheriff, gets the ball on the edge of the area, spins it out to Brian James. James back to Tommy Granito. Ariel Martinez actually playing the deep line playmaker role there. Trying to pull a few strings, and it is cleared up to the number 11, Sydney Rivera. Chance to counter-attack, but a little bit too close to Jalen Markey. And it's back to Mark Pace. Well, that was a wonderful opportunity for Brian James there, through on goal, lifting it over the keeper. Just needed a bit more pace on it.
I think he's going to look back over the tape of this game and kick himself, because he did go for the lovely chip, and it was a good idea, but he did have a man over to his right-hand side that probably would have been able to tuck that one away much easier than that attempted chip. Missed opportunity there for Miami FC.
Well, here we go. Throw in for Philadelphia. Little flick on. That's going to go out. And Othello Barr over there on the left-hand side. Looks for the throw. Gets the ball back. Has to go all the way back to Jalen Markey. Markey back in the centre of defence with Callum Chapman-Page unavailable. Spun forward by Brenton Griffiths, and it will find Dylan Mahrez. Dylan Mahrez looks like he wants to have a go at goal. Still going is the captain, and he can't quite find the pass, and Philadelphia Fury will come out. And again, they're confident moving the ball around. That one will go forward. Comes out on McGrath and Markey just barged his way through McGrath, and it will be a throw-in for Miami FC. What a little change on a Sunday night. What works to do? Just like Miguel Gonzalez. Miguel Gonzalez is down. The referee trying to foul by Louisville.
To the spot with the ball in front.
You mentioned the idea of playing Sunday nice activity to come out to end of the year. Set up one week, and especially considering the Dolphins play at 1. There's a chance to see a victory here in South Florida.
So come out more of a chance to Miami.
Yes, probably better chance of scoring here to see here at Buccaneer Field on the campus of Barry University.
We really like that you have choices They're settling down a little, the orange and blue. Here's Roseboom, takes a little slip, still has control of the ball. Granito with a smart spin. McGrath is there. And I thought he won the free kick, but no, the referee is, I don't know, he's doing some sort of disco dance. I don't know which way he's giving it. I think it will be a Miami FC free kick. I've seen that in a few nightclubs in my time, but never in the centre circle of a soccer field.
He's looking for a superstar moment, and I think he's found it.
And I think we're going back. Yes, a free kick there. Brenton Griffiths takes. Lovely ball forward by Tommy Granito, and a great touch by Lloyd Sam. And Roseboom is there to help him out. And this is the confident possession play we're used to seeing from Miami FC. Here's Othello. Can't get past his man, and it will come out through Thomas Shecky. McGrath on the ball.
You have to be, if you're Miami FC, very confident right now. The fact you're just airballing it across the field, no problem. You know, those longer connections are so important to switching the field of play.
Yeah, definitely. And the flanks have been in play a lot. Number 7 for the Fury, Vickers, has had a little bit of joy early on as well down the left-hand side. And this Vickers versus Lloyd Sam duel will be an interesting one for the rest of the game, I'm sure. Granito, again, can't find the ball. And Cuomo, the captain, Sends it back. Well, actually, not the captain. Beg your pardon. The captain is further up the field. Touch for the defenders. Vickers only finds Granito. Another touch for Roseboom. There's a little bit of room in the midfield. Philadelphia are choosing to stand off Miami FC a little bit, certainly in their own half. And I think they're thinking, you can do whatever you want in your own half. We're more concerned about how we handle what you can throw at us in our half of the field. Martinez back to Jalen Markey. Martinez tries to slip past Cuomo, and that's good defending by the number 3.
Yeah, Lee, you mentioned the idea of wake-up calls earlier, and I think that breakaway that Miami FC had might have been a bit of a wake-up call for Philly. I doubt they're going to get caught on the break like that again. If they're going to get beat, it's going to take something more than that.
Here we go with Miguel Gonzalez. Nice little turn by the number 12. Martinez and acres of space again. And here is where they do their defending on the edge of the box. They fall into position on the edge of the box so well. And looking for Mahrez in the area. Doesn't quite reach in from Brian James. And that'll go out for a throw, plenty of time. Coach there for the Philadelphia Fury is Chris Vaccaro. A long and distinguished indoor career around all the arena soccer teams. And Matt, you'll like this. He was with the Baltimore Blast a few times.
Of course, America's favorite indoor soccer team, the Baltimore Blast. I have their shirt at home. I'm loyal to Miami, but when it comes to indoor, the Blast are number 1.
Here's Roseboom up to Miguel Gonzalez. Roseboom getting a little bit more involved in the game. Martinez bundled off the ball. The referee says that's a foul. McGrath disagrees. And he wants to make a point that maybe they want to take it quickly, Miami FC, but the referee still hasn't finished his conversation with Ian McGrath.
He's telling him to play on. I like that.
And here we go again. Another touch from Miguel Gonzalez. But he's forced to retreat. Granito. Here we come again with Brian James. Nice little slip ball in for Othello. Can Othello get there?
There's going to be an offsides here on the near side.
Flag for the offside.
That had to have been close. That was a very close look for the side official there.
Well, we had a few moments of controversy down on that side of the field. I'm sure some of us will remember the Chattanooga game when there was a goal that was and then wasn't. And that was the job of the assistant referee down there to spot that offside. Here we go. Philadelphia Fury send it long. And it will come out to Vickers again. Sam in close attention. Number 12 is Carl Newell. And again, Philadelphia Fury choosing to build from the back, keep the foot on the ball. That's a decent looking ball forward, but a little bit too much on it. It'll be a Miami FC throw-in. I think, Matt, it's fair to say this has been a little bit more competitive than maybe what we've been used to down here in recent years. Yeah,
I would definitely say so. When you look at, take a look at this breakaway, though. Nice physical play there, staying on his feet, looking to get into the box of the Philadelphia Fury and get a scoring opportunity for Miami.
Yeah, in the first 10 minutes, it's been pretty even. And, well, here we go down the left-hand side. And is that going to be a free kick? Referee has a look. It sure
will.
And, yeah, he's going to give a free kick for that. Is he going to give a card?
Only question, is there a card? Yeah. Wait for it. No, I think he's just going to get a talking to.
It's the old lecture. It's the old one more time and you're going in the book.
Got to make him sweat a little bit.
Well, here we go. This is a chance to sort of clip the ball in from a nice angle. I mean, a corner kick is a little bit harder to deliver because you're level with a goal. But when you're in that sort of position where you've got a bit of a better angle to deliver it, and this guy can deliver a ball. That's nicely stood up. Markey is there, but it's Cuomo who gets it clear. And it comes back to Lloyd Sam. Lloyd Sam sends it in. A bit too close to the defense, but they've got to make sure, and it's out for another corner.
That's, again, another one of those decisions that you make in a moment, and then if you have an extra half second, you're like, no, I could have let it go, but you have to make that split-second decision.
I like your split-second decision voice there, Matt, and it's a chance to go for goal for Ariel Martinez. Well, he didn't miss by much, but he did miss.
That was Ariel moving to his right. That doesn't even take a split second. He gets space, he's going to let it go. And a lot of times that ball winds up in the back of the net. This time a little bit too high. But I don't think head coach Paul Dalglish will be too upset at that opportunity.
Yeah, I think that was technically on his weaker foot, if he does have a weaker foot, on his right foot. But it'll be a goal kick to Philadelphia Fury. Sent long to Miami FC players in attendance there. And again, it's Lloyd Sam on the ball. He has to go back to Mark Pace. Mark Pace has to get the ball out from under his feet. He does very well. Does the big number 1 for Miami FC. Roseboom takes over from Sam. And that's, I think, who's that lurking there? It's Dylan Mahrez. He gets away from his marker. He's got a little sight of goal here. And it goes into the back of the number 5, Idrisu. Granito battling for the ball there with the number 10, Connor Herf.
That's going to be a foul heading in Philly's way.
Well, still no goals, but we've had a couple of good chances. And a very even game. Entertaining way to spend your Sunday evening. And I think if Philadelphia can just try and build a bit of possession in the Miami FC half, they may well get something out of this game. If they can hold Miami to no goals. But that is a tall order in itself. Here we go again. It's getting pretty end-to-end now. That's a good challenge by McGraw. That's a nice little slip ball forward. And covering there is Jalen Markini. He does superbly well, the centre-back.
The crowd reaction lets you know how good of a tackle that was. That was Markey not in the best position, but recovering well, going to ground confidently, and making a really 10 out of 10 play there.
Yeah, that was an excellent tackle. Defending is all about timing, and he had his watch set perfectly there. No offside. Nice little touch by the number 11, Sidney Rivera. But it comes the other way through Miami FC's number 11, Lloyd Sam. He's directing traffic. Doesn't get the run he wants. Martinez tries to play Sam back in. And Idrisu again read the game perfectly. And Vickers makes himself a bit of room.
I tell you what, Lee, on this right-hand side, Lloyd Sam seems to be everywhere. He's in attack. He's back on defense. He's just seems to be really playing at a very, very high level right now.
Well, that's his job, and his job is to get up and down that flank. And when you think that, he's no spring chicken, to be able to do that for 90 minutes in this kind of climate is it's pretty impressive. Here come Miami FC. Othello just shows a bit too much of the ball to Idrisu. Miami FC again. You can hear Dade Brigade in the background there enjoying this game on a Sunday. That's a wonderful touch by Miguel Gonzalez. Gonzalez to Ariel Martinez, and a wonderful save by Jakob Berzeda, which I think I got pretty close to right.
Close enough for Jazz. Miguel Gonzalez is going to want Ariel Martinez to buy their next meal out because that was an assist set perfectly up for him, and that was just the goalkeeper stepping up his game and making a wonderful save. Miami FC now with the corner, hoping to get a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, that was a smart stop. Nice delivery by Martinez. Floated to the back stick. No one is there. Miguel Gonzalez will probably keep it in. He does not, and it'll be a throw.
Missed it by that much.
Well, still no goals. 17 minutes into the game. But a wonderful save by Arshia in the Philadelphia Fury goal. Keeps it level. Markey, who's come back and slotted into this side really well, Matt, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. And what a great opportunity here in this first NISA Showcase game to have the kind of early performance he has. That's going to make him feel confident and his head coach feel confident.
And Gonzalez has been lively as well. Miami FC, Ariel Martinez, the number 10. Keeps possession. Granito to Roseboom. And Roseboom did very well there to thread that ball through. And he has Lloyd Sam on the right-hand side, and he wants the ball back. And covering there was the number 23, Patrick Sullivan, just checking that run by Lance Roseboom. We had a nice sit-down chat with Lance at the Champions Party a couple of weeks ago. Very erudite man, and gave us a good insight into what it's like, the inner workings of the club. But he loves to win, and he loves to play in this team, and he's played with Paul Dalglish before. And he said that one of the reasons he came to play for Miami FC was Paul Dalglish.
Lee, if folks want to hear more of that conversation, they can visit magiccity.soccer, where we were able to sit down with him as part of our episode 74 of the podcast. It was a good listen, and we have a couple more interviews there as well. If you're looking for more Miami FC content to get you ready for the start of the season, it's right there for you.
Martinez spins it out. Othello has plenty of room here, but he's offside again.
Yeah, that again was very close. I think the fourth official got that right. But that is tight as a tick.
Yeah, I mean, I just said defending is about timing, but also timing your runs as an attacker is also important. And free kick for the offside for Philadelphia Fury. Looks like a little change of positioning there. Vickers is trotting over to the right. Coming over to this side is number 9, Thomas Shecky. The ball lands at Othello's feet. That's a long ball to nowhere from Jalen Markey. And Idrisu, plenty of time on the ball. Picks out the easy pass, but Brian James wants to make it not such an easy pass for Cuomo to receive. Martinez rolls it into the path of Granito. Miguel Gonzalez has a lot of room down this side. Martinez clips it for Lloyd Sam, and it's in the back of the net. And it's a goal for Miami FC. Lloyd Sam, well, he's been everywhere on the field so far. And after a lovely bit of interplay, it's a wonderful goal for Miami FC, and the deadlock has been broken. Nothing the goalkeeper could do about that one. And
assisted by number 10, Ariel Martinez. Time of the goal, 20 minutes, and the Miami FC lead 1-0.
Well, I mean, the team name is Philadelphia Fury, and if I was the keeper, I would be furious at my defense for that one, because they just let Miami FC tap dance their way through the penalty area, and it was a lovely little finish by Lloyd Sam.
And, Lee, we don't have to say could, because we saw the reaction after that ball went in the net. He was furious. As a goalkeeper, it's a hard enough job as it is, but you're expecting your defenders to kind of hit a certain level, and they did not quite do it on that one. And Dade Brigade and the rest of the Miami FC faithful quite happy. You can see some celebration smoke wafting across Buccaneer Field here. 1-0 Miami FC up over their opposition. That is a familiar sight we've seen here, whether it's in PSL or NISA. Miami FC grabbed that early lead.
It always reminds me of one of my favourite films, which is Top Gun. Well, actually, coming forward is Othello. He's trying to play Miguel Gonzalez. Is it going to be 2? Miguel Gonzalez? No, he's crowded out. One of my favourite films is Top Gun. And they always say about Iceman, it's like he flies ice cool, and he waits for you to make a mistake, slip up or whatever, and then he punishes you. And there's a lot of Iceman in this Miami FC team. They just wait and toy and pick at you with passes, and then you make a mistake, miss a run, watch the ball, bam, it's 1-0. And as Matthew says, it's something we've seen very regularly on this field. And a corner kick for Miami FC. Was spun in, but it's gone straight back out.
Going for an Olympico there. A quick update on the official scoring of that goal. According to the official watching it, that's an own goal by Idrisu. So Miami FC, it'll go down as an own goal for Miami FC. It counts all the same, 1-0 up. But I'm sure the forward players of Miami FC would have wished it might have gone in a different direction.
Markey sends it forward. There's Idrisu, who technically scores the first goal for a Philadelphia Fury player. Just a shame it's in the wrong net. Martinez turns. Never let Ariel Martinez turn. Well, then he has to go back anyway. Brian James sends it long, and he's overhit that. And that's a little bit of work for the ball boy down in the corner there. And I think it's going to be a throw-in. Well, I mean, it doesn't, like you say, Matt, it doesn't really matter how the goal goes in. It went in, and that's what's important. Okay, we'll have to maybe have a look back at that one at half-time and see where the touch that made it an OG came from. Martinez. Lloyd Sam, who I guess probably gets an assist for that goal then. Roseboom back to Martinez.
If not in the scorebooks, then at least in our hearts.
Brian James has done well in his central midfield role. He's a versatile player. And that's a nice looking ball for Othello as he got the cross low. Well, it does get to Miguel Gonzalez. Gonzalez trying to find an angle to shoot. They're queuing up for it on the edge of the area. Martinez, it comes to Gonzalez. It's loose. And great goalkeeping again. I'm going to have another go at this. Agaba de Zeba.
That was totally onside. That flag never went up. That would have been a goal, and that is a goalkeeper, again, pulling his team out of the fire, because that would have been 2-0. It should have been 2-0 on that kind of confusing play by the Philly defense.
Yeah, he's a good keeper, this lad. He's had a couple of smart saves. He was unlucky with that own goal, as Markey will go back to his keeper, Mark Pace. Oh, a little mistake there, and Philadelphia Fury are in. It comes to Rivera.
That is onside.
Spooned it wide. Well, I think it must have been like, maybe he didn't expect to receive the ball there. It was a little bit of heart in the mouth moment, and he just swung a boot at it and spooned it wide. And you have to do better than that, because you don't get many chances against Miami FC. You got to make them count. At least hit the target.
If we've seen any sort of miscue out of the back from Mark Pace, it has generally been on that distribution. It's not always been 100%, and that can lead to real trouble if a team's ready to pounce. Philly wasn't quite ready for it, and Miami FC is the benefactor of that. But you don't want to see much more of that against this kind of competition.
Here we are again. Yeah, Martinez, we thought he was going to play more up front, but he's in this sort of floating playmaking role, and he seems to be enjoying it.
It really shows his evolution as a player, Lee, because we remember seeing him the first and second years in NASL. We'll hold off on that thought.
Is it in? It is in the back of the net, and Miguel Gonzalez has added a second, and there's no way that one's going down as an own goal. But again, Philadelphia Fury just switch off, and they're punished by the men in orange and blue, and it's 2-0 here. Well, goal came out of nothing, and Miguel Gonzalez beat everyone to the ball.
Miami FC goal by number 12, Miguel Gonzalez. It was assisted by number 6, Dylan Mahrez. The goal comes in the 25th minute, and your Miami FC lead 2-0.
So going back to the thought I was trying to get to before, that terribly disruptive goal. The great goal from Miguel Gonzalez is that Ariel Martinez, when he first came into this side in 2016 and 17, a very kind of combustible player almost. He was a big moment. He was going to grab it, but didn't necessarily have that kind of patience and control. In the last year and a half, you're seeing that part of his game develop, and it really makes this Miami FC offense run.
Well, Philadelphia needs to, I think, just get back to basics a little bit and get a bit of possession going. They started the game very well, and they've shown us that they can play a little bit of soccer, but it's just so hard when you can't get the ball off the other team. And every one of these Miami FC players are confident on the ball, and as I say that, Roseboom almost gives it away, and a little bit of a let-off there is going to be a free kick for a foul on, I think it's Jalen Markey, who's down injured.
That's a double dip, a foul and an injury. Markey, a high injury player. We saw the slide tackle earlier that was so sharp. That was just two players going up and one misjudging a little bit and getting the punishment that came with it, because he looks like he's in a bit of pain.
Yeah, it was one of those contact injuries. I'm sure he's going to be fine. He's going to run it off. Not a huge amount of defensive options on the bench with I think Callum Chapman-Page for Miami FC is unavailable for selection through injury, still working his way back to fitness. So having to put a makeshift centre back. Probably Roseboom would go over there and they'd bring someone on to play down the right hand side. But it looks like Markey is okay. Well, new league, same old story. Miami FC 2 goals up at home. But there's still a long way to go in this game, and don't like to write teams off too early. Here's Ariel Martinez in acres of space. Turns, skips past Idrisu. He's going to run out of space. Yeah, Martinez is such a wonderful player to watch. I mean, we're spoilt at Miami FC to be able to watch him on a regular basis.
Yeah, I feel like, there are always people that point to other Miami FC players. Dylan Mahrez, such a high-quality player at this level of play. But I think when you think of the face of the club, the player that really represents the club for so many reasons, on and off the field, I think Ariel really encapsulates that. And as you said, he's sure a heck of a lot of fun to watch, too.
Definitely. And as I was saying, all these players can, they're comfortable with the ball at the feet. There's no player on this team really who sort of struggles technically, and that's one of the strengths that Miami FC have. And like I said, Philadelphia Fury were matching them in the opening part of this game, and they've gone a little bit more direct. And they're coming up against a brick wall. Roseboom uses his strength, spins away from Cuomo. Martinez gives it back to Roseboom. James forward to Othello. And here we go again. This is going to be a third. And they're still going, and an improvised out of the boot finish. And it's a goal kick. Dylan Mahrez wants a corner kick, but I don't think he's going to get it. Or is it going to be a free kick? Maybe it was an offside. This very much looks like it was an offside, actually, yeah.
It's funny because I didn't see that flag go up, but that is certainly what it looks like.
Huge kick from the keeper. Looking for Rivera downfield. Sam's got some work to do here, and a slip by the captain, number 10, Connor Herf, with the Fury, but he does get the ball back. Sends a half-decent ball in. There's options in the middle. I think it's McGrath that was there in the end. And it's going to be a goal kick for Miami FC.
That was the first bit of really constructive offensive play I feel like we've seen from Philly in about 15, 20 minutes. They had such a good start to this game, but they haven't really been able to put anything close to frame except that misplayed pass from Mark Pace.
It's difficult. No one's really come up with the solution for this Miami FC team. You'd have to go back to the Miami United game in the NPSL at Miami United, which FC lost that game 2-0. And really, it was a very simple game plan by United that day. They just sat back, soaked up the pressure, and hit him on the break down the flanks. That's a good-looking ball in, and a free header over Mark Pace's goal by the number 16 McGrath.
Now, 2 opportunities in about 2 minutes after such a quiet period. This is a game of momentum. Miami FC is generally always good about absorbing an opponent's momentum and turning it against them. It appears Philly is starting to build a little bit of that back. You wonder if that'll hold or if this will be just another opportunity for Miami to kind of spring the trap.
I think if Philly can get a goal before halftime, that changes the complexion of the game by quite a bit. And they've still got time to do it. There's still 15 minutes left in this first half. And maybe they can just find that little opening they need. Markey all the way back to Pace. Pace under no pressure. Well, actually, closing down last minute there. And it will go out for a throw-in. Yeah, there's still time for Philadelphia Fury to drag themselves back into this game. But not while Miami FC have the ball, and they come forward again. Little obstruction on delivery. Martinez heads it out towards Miguel Gonzalez. Gonzalez keeps it live for Lloyd Sam. And that's great defending, giving Lloyd Sam no time on the ball at all. And he's just forcing him further and further back. And that was great from the number 10, Connor Herf.
Lee, we want to take a moment. The Miami FC would like to thank the doctors at Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute for their support as the official sports medicine provider for the 2019 Miami FC season.
Long ball forward again. Brenton Griffiths and Jalen Markey. Markey heads it back to Mark Pace. That was the right decision. Brenton Griffiths to Roseboom. Sam's got all the space he needs down here. Looks up, chooses not to run. Can't quite find Miguel Gonzalez. Philadelphia Fury, well, I think maybe they're just going forward too quickly. Granito not happy with that challenge, and I think he is going to get a free kick, which is taken quickly. And I think Philadelphia might be better off not playing it forward so quickly. Well, here's Othello. Othello slides it in. And thankfully, Idrisu misses his own net, and it remains 2-0. I just think, Matt, they're playing it forward too quickly. And I think that in that situation right there in front of us, that was a perfect time to put a foot on the ball, keep a bit of possession, and instead they just keep giving it away.
Yeah, Lee, I don't disagree. Those first few minutes of success for Philly, they were really controlling the ball well, patiently, kind of not letting themselves get over their skis, really kind of calmly moving it around. And since then, especially since the first goal, you get the sense there's been this additional pressure, urgency that they've put on themselves. And sometimes you trick yourself. You set yourself up for failure.
Martinez with the corner kick. He'll cue people on the penalty spot, but it's too low and flat, and it's an easy clearance for the Fury, but it will be a throw-in for Miami FC. And Dylan will take the throw-in. Ariel Martinez back to Mahrez. Takes his time on the ball. Plenty of room for Granito in the centre of midfield. And this is a perfect illustration of what I just said. Miami FC not panicking here, just looking for the most appropriate pass. Here's Dylan Mahrez. Lovely little drag back, and Martinez has the freedom of the city of Miami down there. Sends the ball in, and another good stop by the keeper for the Fury.
Ariel Martinez was so open, I think even some Miami FC players thought he was offsides. Waiting for that line to go up, and it never did. He played it absolutely spot on.
It was almost like he was undercover down on the right wing there. How'd you lose Ariel Martinez?
Yeah, that's an easy foul there.
Again, possession for Miami FC. Mahrez comes forward. Misses Martinez. And he's asked too much of his teammate there. There's Herf. And again, you just can't give the ball away so sloppily against Miami FC. Brian James, short pass, and Miguel Gonzalez was looking for the little flick for Dylan Mahrez. Fury just not really able to string more than 2 or 3 passes together at the moment. And I think obviously a goal would settle them down, but maybe some work can be done in the locker room at half-time. And the game has dropped down in terms of pace a little bit, hasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, Lance Roseboom had enough time to do a dance in the middle of the field there. No one was coming to press him, and I think he was waiting for it and kind of just hopping around waiting for the perfect pass, and finally did get it off, but there was a lot of space there.
Well, here's a little chance for the Fury, but it's crowded out by both Dylan Mahrez and Granito. Granito charging forward like a bull in a china shop who wants to score a goal with a china soccer ball, but it goes straight out the keeper. And again, long distribution forward. Markey is under it and wins it easily. And finds Othello into the bargain. Othello rides the challenge. Brian James now on the ball. Looking for Miguel Gonzalez. He loves making those kinds of runs, Miguel Gonzalez. And it's good defending by Carl Newell, who's done all right in this first half. The number 12 for Philly Fury gets a little high five from his pal Patrick Sullivan. And equally, as much as Philadelphia want to get to 2-1, going to 3-0 would be kind of a disaster. So nice defending from the visitors. And it will be Dylan Mahrez who trots over to take the corner kick. Doesn't look like anyone is offering the short option, although Martinez is sauntering over in that direction. And there we go. It is a short corner. Trying to make the angle for Martinez. Martinez back to Othello. Everyone stayed forward. Good looking ball. Marquis underneath it. It's a tame header. And good hands from Agabad Dezeba. And this is better from Philadelphia Fury. They have a bit of time. Miami FC is standing off them. Long raking ball forward by McGrath. And that's Vickers. Controlled it, but then it's sort of got away from him. And he ran out of time. And this Miami FC team will give you no time on the ball.
Might have been asking too much from Vickers, but he did have Sucheki on his left, and he had been able to one-time that ball. That would have been a free run in on goal.
And that's a good-looking ball. And it's across the face of goal, and there's no one following it in. And that's a golden opportunity for Philadelphia Fury.
Hat tip for Brenton Griffiths, who went up and tried to get that one and wound up on his behind.
And it's back in again, and safe hands from Mark Pace. Oh, well, that's much better from Philadelphia Fury. They just managed to get a little bit of soccer going. And if someone had just been chasing in that ball across goal, it could have been 2-1. Here's Lloyd Sam. Nice touch. Martinez. And they go back to Roseboom. And that's a giveaway. McGrath comes away with it. And that, again, much better. Back to Idrisu. Well, he wants to go across the field, but he's kicked it straight into his teammate, into Cuomo's head.
Must be some dispute on the practice ground we don't know about. Drill your teammate right in the face with the ball. That's unfortunate. That's going to leave a mark.
Well, he's got options here, Lloyd Sam. Plays it into Miguel Gonzalez. Gonzalez into the middle for Brian James. Smart defending again. I think that was the number 19, Cameron Schneider, just getting a toe on it, and it'll be a throw-in for Miami FC.
Schneider and Sullivan both doing a good job there, applying pressure towards the front of goal.
Roseboom with the throw-in. Waiting for someone to show for him. And it's Miguel Gonzalez who makes the run. And he finds Martinez. Nice angle for Martinez, but he's found Brian James. Brian James just lets the ball get away from him. Heavy first touch. Nice from Cuomo. Comes out here to Herf. And again, a little bit more confidence about Philadelphia Fury, and this is a good chance. And Shecky has the ball. Shecky sends it into the area. Ooh, almost found Vickers. And I think it was Othello back there doing his job as a fullback, tucking in and helping his centre-backs out. Granito. Forward for Brian James. And again, slow tempo, but for anyone who's ever spent any time in South Florida in the month of September will understand why. It's a long 90 minutes, and it's close and sticky evening here. A few thunderstorms around during the day.
I think any real competitive game that takes place in South Florida, usually right before the end of the first half, there's a certain détente that comes into play where both teams are agreeing we're not going to kill ourselves here before we get back to end the first half. We're going to kind of play smart, play strong, but let's not go crazy because someone will, shrivel up into a raisin.
And again, we've seen teams go at it hammer and tongs for the first 60 minutes, then run out of gas and get pulled apart in the last 30 by Miami FC. So
Central Orlando, I think, of last season in PSL had a really strong effort considering their level of talent and just could not sustain it. So far, Philly had a little bit of a lull, I would say from maybe minute 15 to minute 30, but have really gotten back in the game. The bad news for them, of course, is that in that time they went down 2-0.
And again, choosing not to press the ball so much. Well, that's a good turnover. And here come the Fury. Ball down the right hand side. Vickers is there. Markey gives up the chase. Chooses to stand him up. Vickers is going to take Markey on. He's into the area, and that's wonderfully done there. Two Miami FC players helping each other out. I think it's Granito is over there who got the touch. Decent looking ball. I think Vickers could have been a bit more positive there. Had they got a long throw? And that's not a bad long throw. Bit too looping. Those long throws have to come in a bit harder and flatter. And it's an effort on goal, and it flashes just wide of the post. And again, that's better from Philadelphia Fury. And it was Cuomo, the defensive midfielder, who lashed at that ball.
Take a look at the replay here, Lee. That ball just comes out kind of sitting on a plate, and it's a strong effort. Pace has to dive to his left, but it's not enough on target. Miami FC retains their 2-0 lead.
And this half has kind of flown by. I don't think there'll be too much time added on at the end of this half, Matt. I think maybe that marquee injury was really the only stoppage. Here we go again. Miguel Gonzalez. He's got to do it all himself. White shirts getting back in numbers. Martinez finds Dylan Mahrez.
What a great pass.
Is bombing down the left-hand side. Mahrez goes for goal, and you'll have to do a lot better to beat this guy from that kind of distance. Good shot stopper, and it was just too close to him.
Yeah, Miami FC are trying those long-distance balls, keeping them low, and it has not been enough of a challenge yet to the Philly goalkeeper.
Decent turnout here at the Book so far for a Sunday night. We had a bit of rain before kick-off, which always affects things, and the camera is on top of the roof here at the commentary box, but nice little turnout here at Barry. Been treated to 2 goals from the home team. Oof, that's a risky challenge to play. He stayed down, and the shot on goal is saved by Mark Pace. Not enough pace to beat Mark Pace.
That was a very strong effort, a legal effort, but a really strong one, and looks like the defender took it back up on his feet, but a little gimpy.
And I think both these teams will be looking forward to a little half-time break. I think Philly don't need to change too much. They just need to be a bit more positive, be a bit more confident in possession, keep possession, and try and drag themselves back into this game. Maybe like a consolation goal. But if you get to 2-1, anything can happen. Roseboom for Miami FC. Well, Miami FC need to carry on doing what they're doing right now. And it doesn't matter who the ball comes to. He looks up and he can see a teammate open. Here's Ariel Martinez taking on the defense. Wants to do it all himself. Forced sideways. Still hasn't given up and tries to scoop it into the pass of Miguel Gonzalez.
Lee, as you speculated, not a lot of stoppage time here. We're going to have 1 minute. We're already about 15 seconds into it.
Dylan spins it out there for Miguel Gonzalez. Miguel Gonzalez, such a lethal goal scorer, and he already opened his NISA account as well. And we had a little chat with him too, and he just loves to get up front, get onto some through balls and score goals. And he has one to his name already. Okay, Fury might win a free kick here. Yeah, they do win a free kick. And this might be the last chance they have this half to maybe say, well, they've got Idrisu, who's certainly a big guy. They're sending both centre-backs up to aim for. Number 23 as well, which is Patrick Sullivan. So this could put the cat amongst the pigeons right at the end of the half. It's sent in long. Pace has to punch it. And that will be it for the first half here at Buccaneer Field at Barry University, Miami Shores, Florida. And it is 2 goals to Miami FC and nothing for the Philadelphia Fury. But an entertaining first half, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you are Philadelphia, you can take some solace and some kind of building blocks back to the locker room for halftime. You were challenging. You were pressing the goalkeeper to make decisions here in the last 10, 15 minutes of the first half. There is a game plan that you can apply that would have some success here. The issue is you've got a 2-0 hole to dig out of, and Miami FC shows no inclination that they're going to stop scoring. You know, the attack is still there. They're still getting that ball into the Philly box and really pressing the issue. The question is it going to wind up 3-4-0, or is Philadelphia going to be able to get a goal back and really make a game of it?
Yeah, well, join us back here for the second half. We apologise for the slight outage at the start of the half. Some communication problems here, but stay with us for the second half of this exciting encounter between Miami FC and Philadelphia Fury, coming up in about 15 minutes.
Substitutions for the Fury.
Well, welcome back here to the second half at Buccaneer Field at Barry University. Miami FC, 2 goals to the good against Philadelphia Fury. We have some changes for the Philadelphia Fury at half-time. And I think they need to make a little bit of a mix-up to try and get back into this game. Miami FC pretty much need to carry on doing exactly what they're doing. No changes by the looks of it. And it'll be business as usual for the orange and blue, Matt.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to screw up when you have a 2-0 lead. You know, one of the ways you can do it is by over-tinkering. And, you know, this is a manager in Paul Dalglish as we kick off for the second half that has a trust in his players, has a trust in his system, and you know, talked so highly coming into 2019 about really putting his style of play and his stamp with the players that they've been able to bring into the club, and the results have spoken for themselves.
Well, that was a lovely through ball there, and Philadelphia Fury have a chance early on in the second half to get a shot on goal, and it's blocked. Still chances there, and it just doesn't drop right for Rivera. And that was a nice little statement of intent at the start of the second half. Joining us in the commentary box as well for the second half is Aleja Sanchez, FC Surge centre-back extraordinaire, who'll be giving us a few thoughts on the game. Aleja, what do you make of the first half?
Thank you, Lee. First half was quality. We saw Philly Fury come out strong, but Miami FC picked it up and definitely took control. So let's hope to see that again in the second half.
Anything that you would change if you were Philadelphia Fury, having watched that first half?
I would definitely try and be more composed as a team. They were sending a few long balls. They seemed frantic on the ball, and they seemed reactive instead of proactive to Miami FC's long balls.
There we have it. A little bit of technical analysis from FC Surge's and Aleja Sanchez. Miami FC and FC Surge working quite closely together these days, which is good to see. And a centre-back's perspective, because I'm a fully paid member of the centre-forwards union. So, that's a brave goalkeeping there. And he does well to get it out, and a ball up front is not good, and Markey will be there. Well, that's the first little glance I've had of the NISA patch on the sleeve of the kit, which is nice to see. Something new.
You know, yeah. Lee, Aleja mentioned those long balls, trying to go over the top of the Miami FC defense, and that was actually something I was thinking of during the first half, that in that kind of lull period that Philly had, that was something they were really leaning on. And we saw a lot of that with Miami FC in the NPSL, and it led to exactly 0 success for any team that ever tried to employ it. So I think that's really spot on. Philly needs to keep it on the ground as much as possible. If you're going to go in the air, go side to side and really try to test the wings of Miami FC.
Yeah, definitely. I think when the full-backs who are quite adventurous have advanced up the field, sometimes that's the chance that you have to get in behind them. As I said before, Miami United did that to great effect. McGrath spins the ball forward. That's been measured quite nicely, and it does keep it alive. Rivera was almost there. Here's Herf. And I think that's Newell there lurking. Oh, it's nervous clearance there by Othello Bar. Well, whatever they put in the tee at half-time in the Philadelphia Fury dressing room has done the job, but now it's coming the other way with Miami FC. Here's Dylan Mahrez. He loves to cut in and shoot, but he goes the other way. He's around his defender, he shoots a goal, and another good stop by the keeper. And he just wants to slow this game down a little bit here.
I want to go back to that. That was a Christian Schneider there on the right-hand side with that chase down that was just what a gut-busting effort to get to that ball and be able to send it back in to Rivera, so close to the breakthrough for Philly Fury. Like you said, Lee, it really seems to have woken up Philly Fury that halftime break and got a little bit of a foul here, and I think the ref might be going to his pocket. He is indeed. That's going to be a yellow.
Yeah, that's the first card of the game. We'll get confirmation on who that was given to in just a second. But I think, you have to, at some point, Philadelphia Fury will have to sort of throw a little bit of caution to the wind and get stuck into this game a little bit.
Connor Herf picking up that yellow for Philadelphia Fury, and Miami FC now just going to try to send it deep and put a little bit of pressure on that Philly defense.
Yeah, it's Connor Herf who got the yellow card there, and it's been a competitive game. There hasn't really been too much silliness. We've seen a few knife fights down here in the NPSL as Fury come forward. And Markey, who's having a really good game at centre-back, deals with that one. Philadelphia, to their credit, are actually trying to play soccer here and not turn this into a backstreet brawl.
And, from Philly, they know a thing or two about physical play on and off the field. This Philly squad has been, pretty above board, one or two challenges. But, that's soccer. That's just being, trying to mix it up and get an advantage for your team. And sometimes that's going to lead to a foul.
I'll leave the trivia on cities around America to you, Matt, and then that's your forte. All I know about Philadelphia is the cheesesteak and the Liberty Bell and the City of Brotherly Love. I'm right, aren't I?
No, all those right on point. On point.
Okay, cool. Damn, now I want cheesesteak.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Yeah, I had an early dinner, so now I'm getting hungry again.
Cheesesteak versus Cuban. I think that's the real matchup we need to see after this game is line up the best cheesesteak against the best Cuban sandwich. And yes, Tampa, the best Cuban sandwich can be found in Miami.
Well, trying to put a little bit of cheddar on the game was Ariel Martinez there. He's fouled, taken quickly. The quick free kick being used to effect by Miami FC a lot in this game. When Miguel Gonzalez trying to play himself in there, I think, doesn't quite get it right.
Lee, you mentioned history, and this Philly Fury name really does have a history to it. It traces it all the way back to the original North American Soccer League in the 1980s. The club's investors included Mick Jagger, Rick Wakeman, Peter Frampton, and Paul Simon.
That's a good night out.
That's pretty good. It's no LA Aztecs with Elton John, but it's a pretty solid lineup. The team went defunct after the collapse of the league in the 80s, but was revived in the 2010s and competed in the ASL for a number of years. And here we are now in 2019 on the pitch in South Florida with Miami FC facing off against Philly Fury.
Well, yeah, it's nice to see the sort of the continuation of that name. And that's one of the good things about this Fury team and the league in general. I'm very much looking forward to this Stumptown Athletic game. Stumptown. Can you tell me anything about that Stumptown name? Where does that come from?
I know they're from suburban Charlotte, I believe, in North Carolina. Typically, and I happen to know a little bit of the Stumptown name. Generally, it's come to reference a town that kind of developed a little bit too quickly for itself, and there were still stumps of trees hanging out longer than you would have expected because they were so busy building.
Great keeping by pace there.
If you want to call in North Carolina, hit us on the Twitter or social media and correct us. But I know that's the case for at least Portland and some towns in the kind of plains, the northern plains states.
There we go. A little geography lesson as well. Smart little play down the right-hand side. Miguel Gonzalez, he never gives up on anything, and he's won a throw. Takes it quickly for Lloyd Sam. I think that's Sullivan in close attention, and one of the players on the Philadelphia Fury who did okay in that first half.
If you want a combination of smarts, speed, and physicality, that was it right there for Miguel Gonzalez on that little play. All it earned was a throw-in, but if you're a head coach, you love to see players throwing really all aspects of their game into everything, and that's exactly what Gonzalez was able to do there.
Roseboom just ghosting past the player there, dishing it off, and this looks ominous. Miami FC pinging the ball around like they do in the final third. Brian James finds Othello. Othello gets across the face, goal, and the goalkeeper, well, he's just kind of got something on it, got a glove on it, and it rebounded favourably downfield. Here we go again. Granito to Dylan Mahrez. Plenty of room to run into. Finds Martinez. Martinez outside of the boot. Finds Miguel Gonzalez. Good night, surely. Here's Othello. And Othello fires it home from a narrow angle. And I don't know if it's going to count. Or is it? No, it is a goal for Othello Bar. And he lashed that into the net with some venom. Wonderful goal. And they were turning the screw and they got their just rewards there.
Such a tight angle there for Bob being able to tuck it away. A little bit of uncertainty, but that main official pointing right to the center circle, confident in awarding the goal. And you would have to assume now 54 minutes into this match, 3-0 would have to be a lead that would hold up for Miami FC.
Indeed, indeed. Miami FC does a great job building out of the back. If you see that play started from center back and played all the way to the front. Completely and utterly teamwork is what you see out here from the Miami FC. Composure and just class, utter football is what we see today.
Such a trend in the modern game, that ability to build out of the back. And Miami FC in lower division American soccer has been at the forefront of that. That's really been the key to their success going all the way back to the NASL, is confident play on the ball all the way from goalkeeper to their center forwards and to their wingers.
Well, this is a wonderful way to spend your Sunday evening. Miami FC aren't done. Brian James slides it to the goal scorer, Othello. Othello stands it up, and Brian James got it back. I've seen him score a few thunder strikes, but that one a little bit high and wide, and it'll be a goal kick.
Again, that's another one of those opportunities. I don't think the manager will be too mad that he took it. That's if you have a chance to throw that one in, top corner, you're going to be celebrating it for a week. So it was a good chance. Didn't quite go in for him, but I think the manager wants him to keep that kind of attacking mentality on the forefront.
And he's done well, Othello. He's been very involved in this game, and the goal caps the performance. I'm not sure what the celebration was about. It's almost like he was surprised to score the goal, but wonderful finish. But here comes Philadelphia, and it comes to McGrath, and he just can't get it on the frame of the goal. And it's a clearance, and it'll be a throw-in, and likely will be a long throw again. I think it's number 19 Cameron Schneider who's the long throw expert. I think McGrath needed one of those a finish like Othello's there. He just put it across the goal. Here comes the throw in. Looking for McGrath, flicks it on. Mark Pace jumps into the South Florida nighttime sky, plucks that one out of the air. Again, we had a little chat with Mark Pace, and I'm a big guy myself, but that guy is huge. And I shook his hand. It almost crushed the bones in my fingers. And, safe pair of hands.
He certainly frames an imposing figure, within the post, and sometimes that's half the battle. Attacking players knowing they have to figure out a way to get around you can kind of get in their head a little bit.
He's a proper old school keeper as well. I like that about him. He's not flash, and I mean that as a compliment. You know what you're going to get with him. Like he's reliable. He's a great shot stopper. He commands that area, knows when to catch it, knows when to punch it, and he's not bad with his feet as well. I mean, he's been a great pickup. I mean, hard act to follow Daniel Vega, obviously, but he's a Miami FC number 1, and he's got a clean sheet to his name right now. As much as obviously we're here to commentate on Miami FC, I would quite like to see Philly score a goal. Here comes Othello, brimming with confidence. Miguel Gonzalez, Ariel Martinez, and Philly have played their part in this game, and I think it would be nice to go away with a little consolation.
Yeah, I feel like 3-0 doesn't really tell the whole story of the game.
Yeah.
I feel like Philly deserves a goal, but ultimately and actually cashing in on it makes it a whole lot of difference.
Wow! By Dylan Mahrez, curled home beautifully. An artist at work. What a beautiful finish by Dylan Mahrez, picking up where he left off. Scored a pearl of a goal that was in the running for the goal of the season in the NPSL final. He's done it again.
We see the replay here, just able to tuck it right in the back of the net. A beautiful curl. Our friend Kartik Krishnaiyer has said it time and time again. Maybe the best player in American soccer at this level. That kind of something out of nothing magic. That's really the only way you can describe it. That was not, obviously anything this team does, it's a team effort. But that was just Dylan seeing an opportunity and cashing in.
Curled that in wonderfully. I mean, you have to get that completely perfect, but that's the kind of player he is. He's a master of that art, that placed finish. Well, we were just trying to say, Philadelphia are doing all right. They played a part in this game, but now they have shipped 4 goals. And the curse of the commentator strikes Matthew Bunch. Comes to all of us.
It comes
and here they come again.
Yes.
Here's Dylan Martinez, lays it back. Well, I think Dylan Mahrez wants another one. And the chance just gets away from them, and McGrath with a good tackle. Well, at least Philadelphia are still competing in this game. Nice little bit of one-touch football, but you got to do better than that. And Lloyd Sam will trot back, take possession. Roseboom to Granito. Nice and easy for the orange and blue. Brian James. And it's like a training ground exercise for Miami FC now. Othello does well to keep it in and keeps it alive. Brian James finds Martinez lurking with intent. Martinez slips it for Lloyd Sam, a little bit too much on it, and it'll go out for a goal kick.
You get the sense that between the NPSL final couple of a month ago now or 2 months ago, but that little bit of time off, a little rust starts to accumulate, and Philly, of course, is dealing with that too. But you kind of get the sense as the second half is starting that any sort of rust that might have been in place for Miami is starting to get kicked off, because it's looking much smoother in terms of the passing, the confidence in taking shots. It's really all starting to come together.
It certainly is. And here's Dylan Mahrez down towards where the Dade Brigade hang out. They certainly will have enjoyed that goal. Another enjoyable night for the loyal fans of Miami FC. Here we go again. Thomas Granito lashes a shot at goal, but it's wide.
While we have a little bit of a downtime here, we want to let you know you don't ever have to be without your Miami FC. Follow the team on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the Miami FC. Join the conversation, get access to exclusive offers and promotions, and be the first to know all of the latest playoff news and information as we near the end of the NISA Showcase next month. Follow your Miami FC now. Vamos, Miami!
Nicely done with that, Vamos, Miami, Matthew. And I tell you what, the one thing that's interesting is that we've had 4 different goal scorers. Whether we give the first goal to Lloyd Sam or it goes down as an OG, that's sort of ominous as well. Sometimes teams can be reliant on one player, but with 4 different players amongst the goals.
I mean, we saw that in the NPSL season with Miguel Gonzalez, where he just seemed he was always getting it. I'm sure he'd love to keep on racking up goal totals like he did in the NPSL season, but it gives you, again, thinking of Paul Dalglish, confidence. All my guys can go out there and perform. On any given night, any one of them can step up, have an opportunity fall at their feet, and cash in with it, and that just lets you breathe a little bit easier. And whatever limited amount of sleep he's getting, I'm sure, because he's poring over tape and reviewing everything.
Oh, here's Dylan Mahrez again. Surely he's not going to get another goal. He does get another goal. Dylan Mahrez has exploded into life, and having laid on a couple of goals for other people, decides he wants a couple of his own. You cannot give Dylan Mahrez that much time and space, can you, Matt?
That was an absolute rocket here, Lee. He's got so much space and nearly puts it through the Philly goalkeeper. That's the only way to put it. That was a laser beam. And Mahrez now, speaking of the goals being evenly distributed, Mahrez must have heard us talking and said, you know what? I think I'm going to get on the board myself again. That was quality play, captain's goal written all over it, and this is truly a statement of intent for Miami FC here as the NISA Showcase gets kicked off in South Florida.
I think, Matthew, we can't overlook the fact that, of course, this group of Miami FC players have been together for quite a while now, used to each other, used to playing under Paul Dalglish. So it's I know that the Fury have been playing like in a league and everything, but to make this step up, it's going to be a little bit of a learning process for them as they come forward. That doesn't quite come up for them. It's just I wonder what they need to do, what they need to change to maybe get back into this game a little bit. I mean, obviously they're not going to score 6 goals and win it, but what would you do, Matt? I mean,
I think the thing is, I think this second half spurt we're seeing here has very little to do with Philadelphia. I think it has very much to do with Miami. And so I think it's hard if you're a manager to look at your squad, and they came out really on fire to start the second half, that first 5 minutes, just like the first 5 minutes in the first half. They're a really good team when it comes to starting, but if they don't get a goal in, it seems to be hard for them to really dig out, and there's a bit of a 10 or 15-minute lull that kind of buries them.
I think the one thing that Fury haven't done that sometimes teams that do well against Miami FC do, is they didn't, when they were 2-0 down, they didn't really get stuck in. And I'm not talking about like stupid, reckless challenges, but at least bring a little bit of a physical fight, as Ariel Martinez is receiving some attention, which is not not a good thing to see. One of the main men for this team. Yeah, maybe they could have got a little bit more physical, you know, just try to knock Miami FC off their stride a little bit. And again, we gave them credit for deciding to play a little bit of soccer. But with an hour gone, it is 5-0.
Lee, we do want to let you know that this injury timeout is brought to you by Atlantic Rehab Center, the leader in sports medicine. For your injury, visit one of their facilities in Dade or Broward County. Just call 305-405-0400. Once again, that's 305-405-0400 to make an appointment.
Substitution for Miami FC coming into the game.
We are going to have a sub. Mohamed Chow coming in. Ariel Martinez put in a solid shift. That little bit of a knock on the leg. Enough for head coach Paul Dalglish to say, 64, 65 minutes. That's good enough. Let's get you rested. Let's get you wrapped up. Let's get you ready for next week.
Yeah, we have got another game in a week's time. And if you happen to be local, why not come down, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Sunday at Buccaneer Field at Barry University. $10, kids 12 and under get in free. Throw a little Vamos Miami at the end of that as well.
There you go.
Just for the heck of it.
It truly is one of the best entertainment deals, I think, in all of South Florida, to see such a high-quality team out on the field week in and week out. And it does look like we're having, I think the magic number for Paul Dalglish was 5. Some substitutes coming in now. Martinez out, Chow in. There's another substitute that I think we were talking about the first one, and we might have missed. We'll get that to you in just a second. But it does appear to be the time that Paul Dalglish is going to let his team stretch out a little bit and go with a different look.
And a substitution as well for Philadelphia Fury. Looks like number 19 is heading off the field, Cameron Schneider. Coming in is... 25 is not on my team sheet.
I'll have that for you secondly. I do want to let you know the other Miami FC substitution was Sean Shin in for Lloyd Sam. Sean Shin in, Lloyd Sam out. And for Philadelphia, 25 is Tyler Fabian. Tyler Fabian coming in for Philly Fury.
Well, here we go. Philadelphia Fury on the ball. I think this is one of the longest periods of possession they've had. And then he's just hammered it forward to nowhere. What do you make of that, Leah?
Well, Lee, I was just about to say, Philadelphia does well at keeping the ball for 4 or 5 passes, and then they lose it because they try to go long. And it's just, they can't go up against Miami FC's defense.
Yeah, that was throwing away possession then. I mean, it's got to take the wind out of your sails a little bit, Matt, when you're like 5-0 down. It probably does affect, your positivity and your confidence.
I mean, we've had plenty of experience seeing this here at Buccaneer Field with the Miami FC and their opponents. Opponents usually hang for a goal or two, but once you check out this opportunity, and that is a wonder goal.
It's a hat-trick for Dylan Mahrez, and that was a fantastic goal. The build-up there was phenomenal.
That was glittering stuff, Lee. That's the only way to put it. That goes on your highlight reel across the whole squad because the passing was perfect. The finish was ideal. And Miami FC, again, dominating here against Philly Fury and showing what they're capable of.
Wow, I mean, that goal had everything. I mean, it came out of nothing. And again, it just highlights Philadelphia Fury can't give the ball away like that because it's going to come straight back at them. And, if they'd either taken a bit of possession when they had the chance or found a little bit of a better quality ball, this goal doesn't happen. But 6-0 now for Miami FC. 18 shots on goal.
Again, it's going to be another sub for Miami FC here, getting a little bit more rest for some of the starters. Brenton Griffiths off. Hector Morales-Sanchez on for Miami FC. 5 subs in the NISA showcase here in the fall 2019 season. So a good opportunity for Paul Dalglish to get some other guys some run, especially with a comfortable 6-0 lead. Miami FC just hoping to tack on the extra point and make it 7.
And a little half a chance there. Didn't come into anything, and it was Bennett who got on the end of that ball. And Bennett there doing, well, I mean, it's a free kick, but no more than that. But is he going to go into the book? I think that's a bit harsh from the referee. I mean, he's just trying to take the game to Miami FC a little bit.
Looks like Markey is down, is going to get some attention from the referee and from Miami FC goalkeeper Mark Pace. We'll wait to see if the medical crew comes out or not. But brings the game to a bit of a halt. Some handshakes, some I'm sorries. Ooh, Jalen Markey not wanting to get that handshake. Not happy with that challenge one bit.
I think sometimes I'm a little bit too in favor of the player making the physical tackle. But, yeah, Jalen Markey not happy with that. But, I mean, you know, at least they're still competing. If he's charging into, like, well, there's a little tap of respect there. You've got to keep chasing the game, even if you're losing 6-0. And I think Markey understands that a little bit now.
Yeah, sometimes in that instantaneous reaction, you know, you pop. You're really frustrated, especially, you know, coming into the season. It's the first game. You know what the scoreline is. You're not expecting that kind of physical challenge, but you take a minute, you kind of reflect on it, you process and understand, that's the game.
Oh, well, what a substitution this is. You take off hat-trick hero Dylan Mahrez, and coming on is Dario Suarez, who's no slouch himself.
Gets a touch right away.
And, you know, if anyone who is looking at our Twitter feed, you will have seen Dario Suarez's goal of the season, rightly given goal of the season for that first goal in the spring season against Miami United. It was absolute thunderbolt from 35 yards.
I tell you what, Lee, considering you know, the season that ends with a national championship, in terms of the quality of goals scored, it was kind of all downhill from that first game between the Olympic goal off the corner and that absolute rocket off the foot of Dario Suarez. It was so remarkable that, you know, you'd see the other games where Miami FC were winning 5, 6, 7. It's like, oh, well, we didn't have any, you know.
I had the happy task of trying to whittle down that shortlist for goal of the season, and it was giving me nightmares. I was waking up going, which goal do I leave out? And, yeah, just to get it down to 10 was quite the but a worthy winner. Roseboom does well. Sends the ball upfield for Sean Chin. Oh, and that's a great tackle down there. I think that's Newell again, who's done, again, one of the Philadelphia players who's done all right. Wonderfully timed tackle. Brian James and Sean Chin lose the ball. But no, it's a throw-in to Miami FC. Brian James has done well tonight, Matt, hasn't he?
Yes, he really has. Another one of those players who have kind of been everywhere doing everything. Ooh, a turn and a fire, and doesn't go in. But again, you can see this team. They see Mahrez with that quick hat trick. They think, oh, maybe I can do that too.
Yeah, with some time running out here. 18 minutes left in the 90, and then whatever's added on at the end. But barring a minor miracle, this is Miami FC's game. Brian James to Mo Chow. Chow trying to clip it through for Dario Suarez. I think Brian James has heard me. He stepped it up a level. Cross comes in, Mo Chow, and here's Dario Suarez. He can't get there, and it's offside anyway.
Yeah, that was dead before it started. But again, Miami FC want to rack up any more goals they can, get while the getting's good. The Miami FC would like to thank the doctors at Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute for their support as the official sports medicine provider for the 2019 Miami FC season.
Here we are. That's a well-won header by Cuomo against Gonzalez, but Gonzalez does get it back. And Granito. Whoa, Markey has to hammer it out of play there with Bennett in close attention, and a little bit of a live wire, Bennett. Maybe if a goal's going to come, it might come through him.
really seems like every 10 minutes or so, Jalen Markey is having to like really throw himself into some challenge or something else. Here's the ball in with a chance here for Suarez.
And Suarez just misses, and it was good work by Hector Morales. Chino Morales down the left-hand side.
That was such a challenging kind of finish, to be able to turn your body so far back to put it near post instead of going far. That's the kind of the natural direction you think that Dario Suarez might have gone, but try to get torqued all the way around there and still be able to tuck it in, again, shows his capability of finishing.
The only downside, Mr. Matthew Bunch, of this game being at 7 p.m. on a Sunday is I can't go out and celebrate the win because I've got to be in work tomorrow.
Well,
I have to maybe someone can text my boss, tell me I'm not feeling well. That's a decent looking cross. Here come Philadelphia Fury. Oh, and that's a great effort, just over.
Was offside, though.
Oh, it was offside anyway.
Which kind of, I think,
tells
the story for Philly Fury. Their best chance the whole night. Offsides, again, kind of dead before it even started. Going back to your last point, Lee, I think we need to draft up some of those, like, please excuse blank for missing work Monday. Miami FC had a game Sunday night. They scored too much. I think that's a real opportunity for us. Just call me Dr. Bunch. That's all you need to know.
Thank you, Dr. Bunch. We'll talk about my prescription later, but serving up more goals here for Miami FC, maybe? No, straight at the keeper by Miguel Gonzalez. I think if probably Stumptown are watching this, they must be thinking, oh my word, we've got to come down here and play this team next week.
If I were Stumptown, I'd be hydrating starting now. Given North Carolina knows a little bit about humidity, but to play this team, the physicality, the speed they're going to need to make it a contest, you want to be ready, because Miami FC is clearly telling the rest of NISA, we're ready.
Well, it's going to be a free kick in a promising position here for Philadelphia Fury, and maybe now with the scoreline the way it is, the pressure is off a little bit, and they've played some pretty good soccer in the last couple of minutes. And if they have someone who can strike in a good free kick, this is a pretty good position. There's a little committee meeting going on about who's going to take this one. Cuomo is there, McGraw, well, they're both walking away. Picking up the ball is the captain, the number 10, Connor Herf. And that very much looks like the body language of the player who is going to take this free kick. Mark Pace is setting a wall, 4 in the wall.
One of my favorite things, Lee, is seeing the kind of precision that goalkeepers take in setting up that wall, really lining it up. It truly shows how much of a game of inches it is.
And well, here we go. Maybe it's a little routine. Well, Herf is like, what are you doing, mate? I think Herf just needs to go for goal here, because whatever they got worked out here isn't working. They're going to reset this and try again, but it's obvious maybe what's going to happen. Herf clips it in. One touch. It's at McGraw, and it's in the back of the net, and Philadelphia Fury do have a goal to take back to Philadelphia. And to be honest, I think they've deserved to get something on the scoreboard.
That was one of the strangest goals I have ever seen, Lee, because that was like a rope-a-dope routine where they were like, is it now? Maybe? Possibly? Am I going to kick it? Here it is. And it's kind of appropriate that it appears a bit of a rain cloud moved over just as that take was happening because... yeah, that was just strange, and the rain has stopped almost, it looks like. What a weird moment in this game.
I'm going to give them a bit of credit that maybe the free kick routine was to kind of look like they didn't know what they were doing and then catch Miami FC by surprise.
Crazy like a fox.
Well, the clean sheet has gone, but the Miami FC will surely hang on for the win here.
I don't know, Lee, maybe 6 or 7 more weird 30-second rain clouds, and Philly have a shot.
There's one thing that you can always bet on, and that's the unpredictability of the Miami weather. And we've been fortunate not really to be affected by it too much tonight. But then, a little bit of slickness on the ball, passes sort of zip a little bit quicker. And maybe you get a second. 6-2 doesn't quite sound so bad, does it?
We did see those sprinklers going right before kickoff here at Buccaneer Field, so it's hard. You have to wonder which side you would think it would benefit, because clearly Miami FC don't mind a pitch that's a little bit more moist. But Philly Fury did definitely benefit from that moment of natural wonder, the random South Florida rainstorm.
Moist pitches. There we go. Miami FC with the throw-in. Mohamed Chow has done well since he's come on. And he's a different proposition from the other forwards. You know, more of a classic centre forward, but very good technically. Hector Morales and Tommy Granito.
Confident tackle there. Very nice. Could have been a foul, but wasn't.
And here's a chance for Miguel Gonzalez.
Oh,
and
that's
it's a
lovely,
goal for
Lee.
Miguel Gonzalez. And that's another one for that young man's highlight reel. And
that
well,
is
7-1.
Gorgeous. What a finish that was. Again, a little bit of space in the box, making the most of it, not blasting it, confidently with just enough pace, beating the keeper and putting Miami FC up 7-1. Miguel Gonzalez, a familiar goal-scoring face for Miami FC in the NPSL season, and resuming his old routine here at Buccaneer Field tonight.
And now the rain has come back to stay by the looks of it, and well, it's certainly raining goals in on the Fury's end. 7-1, and we still have 10 more minutes left to play.
Man, and if you're Philadelphia, you just want that final whistle to blow. It's going to be really hard for them to put any sort of full effort these last 10 minutes. You're getting rained on. It's hot and humid still. You're down by 6 goals. It's going to be tough. You know, I'm sure they just kind of want to get back on the bus and head home.
Long bus ride.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's an airplane ride in there as well. But, you know, maybe they're enjoying the scenic sights between Philadelphia and Miami.
That's a free kick for Miami FC. Markey will take it. Granito sends it forward, and yep, on the moist pitch, that one is going to get away from you.
That's a bit of hydroplaning activity here on Buccaneer Field. Field does drain well, you know, when that rain does start to come. This is an excellent quality pitch. You know, you see the U.S. men's national team and other national teams train here before friendlies, before World Cups. So it's going to be as good as it possibly can be, but this is a real quality South Florida rain right now. It's coming down hard.
Well, also coming on quite strong is Miami FC again. And here is Dario Suarez, nice little flick. And Othello can't quite get there. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Fury. The substitute will take it. Tyler Fabian wants his teammates to get in position. Yeah, you were talking about the surface, Matt, and you know, it's a champion surface. It's a beautifully prepared pitch. And that's why you can play such good football on it.
Yeah, it really, every time, you know, even in bad conditions, it shines through. It's really a beautiful natural grass surface. And usually, you know, the quality of the pitch is what you start talking about when a team leads by 6. So we're right on schedule.
That's a first time cross and just too close to the goalkeeper. And that's terrible distribution from the keeper from Philadelphia Fury. What's he doing? Here's Hector Morales. Chooses to retain possession. Here's Super Dario, swings at the ball, and that's great defending to charge that down and coming the other way with Bennett. Bennett is going to take on Jalen Markey. Jalen Markey stands firm, but it's still Philadelphia Fury ball. He's gone for goal, and he had a player on the left-hand side of him. And I think maybe if he'd have dished that off to the left, could have been a bit more of a dangerous chance.
I feel like these Fury attackers are going to go to bed tonight and have nightmares of Jalen Markey, because he hits just every 5 or 10 minutes having to pop up and make a play like that. An awkward play. It's not, you know, it's you're caught in a bad position. There's, you know, a through ball gets through right on the money, and you're having to really kind of pull your team bacon out of the frying pan there. And every single time it seems he's done it.
Oh God, now I'm really hungry. You're talking about bacon as well. Hungry for more goals, though. Here we go. Goal kick. Long. Looking for Mo Chow. But it's McGrath who gets there. And it's going to be a free kick for the Fury. And this is a chance again, you know, maybe clip the ball in. And they've got one in a similar situation, haven't they, Matt? And I think it's the same players over the ball.
That was more direct.
Forward. And straight up mark pace, and then he bowls it out into the charging path of Dario Suarez. Suarez clips it through for Granito. Granito can't get there. Again, Newell was lively to snuff out that danger.
That was such good distribution for Mark Pace. You know, earlier in the match I talked about sometimes his distribution is not 100%. That was 100%. That was beautiful and nearly set up another goal for the Miami FC.
Well, are we going to get one more? Granito to Othello. Oh, lovely little turn. Almost a Cruyff turn by Granito. Granito wants to go all the way himself. Granito goes down in the area. The referee says, get up, son. No chance.
The referee says, you see that scoreboard, right? you really want another one? Come on now. I think if that was a closer game, the referee might have taken a little bit more time to think about that.
Yeah, the Miami don't need the help of a penalty here. Here comes Hector Morales, and again, good defense by the Fury, and a chance to counter. Bennett is up front, and he cannot be found, but I think it's going to be a free kick. Taken quickly, and here we go. Bennett is in. He's got support as well. Only Lance Rosebrunner is coming back. Bennett for the Fury. Pace saves it. Pace saves again. And it's scrambled away.
Wow.
And it's going to be a free kick anyway. Mark Pace is giving the assistant a piece of his mind.
Lee,
I think you wanted the free kick a little sooner.
I got 3 words for you. Too much time.
Yeah.
They had too much time with that ball one-on-one, and you wait and you wait and you wait. And if anyone has ever played the game or even played FIFA knows, you get close enough to that keeper, they're going to make the save. You're closing out your angle for you. You got to make a decision and follow through with it.
You know, it's an instinctive sport, and sometimes, you know, you survive on the chances that come to you quickly and you bury them. And like you say, Matt, he had so many options, so many things to do, and then suddenly 6'4", 210 pounds of goalkeeper is hurtling at you. And it's not a surprise, really, that he lost his bottle a little bit.
It looks like Dario Suarez has earned himself a yellow card. Not quite sure why, because that was a long walk for the referee. I'm guessing the wrong word got said somewhere along the way. But we also had a substitute there, Miguel Gonzalez off, Marco Franco in for Miami FC here in the last 5 minutes of this match.
Good to see Marco Franco back, another player who's had a little bit of an injury layoff. Of course, a long-term injury as well to Baggio Casira. So good to have another option at full-back back on the field. And credit as well to Lance Roseboom on that last chance, because he was the only player, one of the more experienced players on the pitch, who was hauling himself back to help out his goalkeeper, and maybe it just planted a little seed of doubt in the mind of the Fury attackers. Here's Dario Suarez, he loses out. Hector Morales, though, so efficient with the ball. Comes out through Philadelphia Fury. Great work there by the number 14, Christian Schneider. Here's Bennett again off to the races. Hector Morales with a great tackle. All of the ball, a little bit of the player, but certainly no foul.
And a throw in to boot. What a kind of salt in the wound there for Philly. They don't even get a corner off of that. That was another brilliant tackle, perfectly timed.
Ball comes in. And it does come to Bennett here, and Bennett sends it tamely straight to Mark Pace. 3 more minutes left of the 90. It's 7-1 on the scoreboard. The rain is now hammering down.
It is pouring.
Othello wants someone to come close. Dario Suarez can't get there again. And again a chance. Oh! Just not on the same wavelength. Bennett should have gone then. And Mark Pace will take his time. Here's Granito to Lance Roseboom. And again, some of the crowd have had to take cover, and it's sucked a little bit of the atmosphere out of the ground as well. And
you don't blame them. Up 7-1, about 5 minutes left, and this kind of rain. Yeah, maybe it's time to start heading back to the parking lot just to get cover, just to get shelter.
Well,
but they might miss a goal.
He can't get that.
Not quite. It'll be a corner for Miami FC, but, you know, the difference between a high-quality athlete and a regular person like me, man, I just want to be out of this rain. They're still going hard, taking shots and trying to make it happen.
He strikes the ball beautifully, Dario Suarez does, but that one was straight into a Fury player.
That'll be a goal kick here for Philly with about 2 minutes left in regular time.
Man of the match, Matt?
Boy, it's hard. I think you get a hat trick.
Is it hard?
You know, sometimes you need half a second to remember all the events of the match. Yeah, no, Dylan Mahrez. Done.
I think, yeah, a hat trick and the goals he scored and the contribution he made.
I do feel like Jalen Markey deserves like a gold star or something, you know? Like, he really had so many kind of key stops. It could have easily been 7-3, 7-4, but yeah, hat trick wins.
Where's Dario Suarez into the area? Straight at the keeper. That ball, moist, is going to be a bit slippy.
Yeah, especially when it's raining. You take the shot you get. You don't wait for the perfect shot. You try to just hit and hope that, the water is in your favor.
Yeah, if we're doing that sort of 3 stars thing that they do in hockey, I think you're right. Jalen Markey probably would put Brian James in that conversation as well. I mean,
yes.
There he is on the ball now. I mean, he's playing sort of an unusual role for him and done very, very well.
Oh, there's our first slip and fall of the night.
And here's Sean Chin. He's got Mo Chow in front of him. Slows up a little bit. Does find Chow. Can Chow find a shot? Chin. Back to Mohamed.
What a great
Chow.
pass. That's onside.
And great goalkeeping, but it's in the back of the net anyway.
Boy,
it's a little bit of a ricochet. I think that one's probably going to go down as an own goal as well. We'll probably have our second own goal of the night.
Let's see if we can see the replay here, Lee. A beautiful pass into the box for Miami FC. A one-on-one opportunity. That is saved, but on the clearance from one player, knocks right. It was a Philly clearance off the Philly defender in the back of the net. That is definitely going to wind up being an own goal. Clearly, no question about it. But again, it counts all the same on the board. 8-1 Miami FC.
Maybe we can give some of these points to the Dolphins for their next game.
I'm telling you what, man. It's an offensive explosion in South Florida tonight. Just it took a little while for our teams to get going. So that's an own goal from Philadelphia. That's going to be chalked up to the number 12 from Philly. That is Kyle Newell. Kyle Newell.
Well, there is one team in Miami that's getting it done at the moment, and that team is Miami FC. Back-to-back NPSL champions and picking up where they've left off in the NISA era. Oh my word, is it going to be 9?
They're trying to stay on side.
He's got Mo Chow. Oh, Mo Chow has gone for the improvised finish and he's put it wide.
Mo Chow is going to be madder than any player that won a game 8-1 in America.
I think the person who's going to be mad is Dario Suarez. He's like, I've done all that work, mate. I'll put it on the plate for you, and you can't finish it off. It remains 8-1.
Yeah, that's a rough one, but everything has been going Miami FC's way, particularly in this second half. They were bound for a little bit of a miss or a screw up, and it's better to happen now than at any other point in the match.
Well, we're past the 90. There's 3 minutes of added time, and the result is a formality. But Miami FC in no mood to take their foot off the gas here. Chin does find a teammate, and the finish goes wide.
Again, just inches, millimeters, centimeters away from another goal. This could easily have been 10-1, and you can definitely see Philadelphia had 80 minutes in them tonight, especially after those couple of back-breaking goals from Mahrez. They're just ready to head home. And you can't blame them. In this kind of weather, in this kind of condition, with this kind of scoreline, they just want that whistle to get blown.
They started so brightly, and they faded as the match has gone on. And I think the rest of the teams in this league are going to be maybe not looking forward to the trip to the 305. Miami FC rampant here tonight. Chance maybe for one more for the Philadelphia Fury. Well, not with a finish like that, there isn't. And it's going to be a goal kick.
Lee, I think Chris Vaccaro is going to be really frustrated tonight, really upset tonight, because the last 10 minutes of that game, not great, but it was a quality effort for certain bits and parts, and that's the final whistle. It's an 8-1 final for Miami FC.
Yeah, well, an ominous result for the rest of the league, but another big win for Miami FC. We've given man of the match to Dylan Mahrez, and rightly so. the fans that have braved the rain are they're applauding the team off. Paul Dalglish goes over to thank the referees. And business as usual here for Miami FC. What more can you say, Matt? 8-1.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect start for Miami FC. And Lee, if you look at the rest of the results out of this showcase so far, 1-0, 3-3, 2-0, 3-1. This is as crooked as a scoreline as you're seeing. And again, one of Miami FC's greatest advantages that they've had in the last 2 years has been really putting crooked numbers up on the board and getting in opponents' heads before they even play their first match against one another. And there is no better example than looking up that board and seeing 24 shots and 8 goals. That is a team that has no lag, that has no rust from that layoff from the NPSL season. They are ready to come into this showcase and dominate it, take it by the scruff of the neck, and take it in whatever direction they want to. And if you're Paul Dalglish, what more can you ask for? It was really a perfect night.
It really was a perfect match. Aleja, any final thoughts from you?
Just great to see two teams stack up against each other. Unfortunate for Philadelphia Fury. They have a long bus ride home to think about their mistakes and what they could do better. And great night for Miami FC. Like you guys said, picking up right where they left off. Excited for the season.
Well, there we go. We're back here, 7 p.m. Next Sunday against Stumptown Athletic. But that'll just about do it for us here at Buccaneer Field at Barry University. 8-1. Let's sign off with that. Thank you for joining us on My Cuju in the start of this NISA era for Miami FC.